Hello, this is Cecilia Stevens presenting why students should not be homeschooled. This will be represented through small text of explanation and photos. The first images explain though academic excellence, children will risk of being homeschooled. Not only are grades are concerned, but academic excellence and testing are huge. Standardized testing especially. PSAT and SATs are not taken into consideration for homeschool students, which can ruin their chances of college experience, because SATs and PSATs and all the standardized testing like that is a huge thing to send to colleges, which can risk their acceptance into certain colleges. It also can just put a lot of stress on the parents, which we will go further into detail of that later on. But it can just overall have really bad effects for the student. The second slideshow represents images that represent how parents can be extremely stressed. The essay I wrote also discusses the pressures of homeschooling on places on parents. Managing lesson plans, teaching multiple subjects, and balancing personal responsibilities can lead to a parental burnout. Financial strain and the need to provide social opportunities for children further compound these challenges, particularly for the families in rural or isolated areas. This can also be an issue in populated areas as well. The third slide represents images that further go into availability from communities. It can be extremely stressful in rural or in urban areas to get community support. In smaller communities, not a lot of people are being homeschooled, and so it is really hard for students and parents to find support for their child if they need help in their academics. It can cause to grades dropping, fights, and all the effects that are explained from all the slides into like one stressful blowout for the parent and the child. It can be extremely stressful. And even in popular areas, it can be really difficult. While it might be easier than smaller, but it's still difficult because usually in bigger areas, parents just send their kids to a private school or a public school, and it is really hard for parents to find support for the child either way. The last slideshow shows the biggest concern of them all. The images show one of the many unfortunate reasons that children are homeschooled. The essay I wrote explains how some parents misuse homeschooling to hide child abuse. They can isolate their children from school environments. Abusive parents can evade scrutiny from teachers and counselors who are trained to recognize signs of abuse, and this lack of oversight can lead to long-term psychological harm and neglect of the child's education, which is extremely huge. Homeschooling can prevent so many things from the child, making it very hard for them to go through, and abuse is the main concern in today's society, especially because abuse is on the rise as of the last few years. Thank you so much for listening to my reasons and looking at my images and all together my storyboard of this project in